So we may not have gotten a lot of new cars in 2022, other than the Cars on the Road stuff. But throughout the year, we did get quite a lot of nice re-releases. And I think we have one of them right here in front of us. That is, of course, Donna Pitts. One of the Rusteze cars, or one of the Rusty cars, from the Rusteze tent. At the beginning of the first Cars movie, right after the first race, the Dinoco 400 in the very beginning. So, very cool that we finally got a release of some of these cars. Not to say that they haven't gotten releases before, they definitely have. Donna here actually first got released in 2010 in the Final Lap series, and then I believe again in 2016, maybe 13, I don't know, a couple of years in the mainline after that, because the Rusteze tent series came up quite a bit in those years. So her and quite a few other ones like Fred, Jonathan Wrenchworth's, Andy Vaporlock, and Craig Faster did get released throughout those years. But Donna Pitts, definitely more than some of them. She's definitely not one of the rarer ones, but one that I never had previously. So I'm definitely glad to finally get her. On the back, you can see, as seen in Cars, Timothy Two-Stroke, Lightning McQueen, or Bugmouth McQueen, Sally, Sarge, Ramon, Donna Pitts. I don't know why they put her on the back of her own package. Sometimes they do that though. And then of course Jonathan Wrenchworth's. And pretty cool because she actually is a new Thailand-made variant. And this is actually the first time we've seen some of these Rusteze tent cars return in the main line. I would say, I think since 2016 or 17, we've definitely been a while since we've seen them. And it's kind of odd because Thailand does such a good job at making rusty cars. They struggle with decals, but they're definitely good at more natural looks, like just basic colors, and they're really good at making shiny cars. But here they're really good at making rusty cars as well. Nice to see her cool little artwork there. She is almost a dismantled car. She's pretty old looking, pretty dirty, full of rust. But I can't wait to take a closer look at her. I actually got her from a seller in Australia. I believe this one is from Australia. But then I actually got her again for Christmas, so I don't mind. At least I have two, one to open, one to hang on my wall. This one's on worse packaging though. This is the one from Australia. It's not on international packaging though, so without any further ado, let's open her up right now. You don't realize how rusty these cars are until you actually take them out of their package. And I'm definitely glad I did, because I didn't have enough rusty cars from the Rusteze tent scene before 2022. The only ones I had were Fred and Jonathan Wrenchworth's. So I ended up getting Craig Faster. I already opened him earlier this year. But it's nice to get another one. Nice little car. First, Craig Faster's pretty cool. He's a monster truck. We will review him eventually. But we'll wait a little now that we just reviewed Donna. But she is just completely covered in rust. Every crack and crevice, like all over around her doors, her door handles, under her windows, even her windows are corroded with rust. Even on her eyelids, even her mouth. Look at that. I couldn't believe on her mouth. What the heck? That's pretty gross. Her teeth must be disgusting. But yeah, she's a pretty dirty car, pretty gross to be honest. But you know, she still shows up to the races. Obviously, she's a big fan, I would assume, of Lightning McQueen and the Rusteze brand in general. Probably wants to look like him because, well, she doesn't look very nice anymore. I'm sure she was a fine-looking car at one point, but she's definitely seen some better days, that's for sure. And this was way back in 2006, when this is what she looked like. Who knows what she looks like now? Probably a lot more rusty. Could be covered in brown rust, who knows? But anyways, she almost reminds me of a cow with all these spots of rust on her. Yeah, a lot actually. They're kind of like the cow tractors. It's pretty cool. Nice little humped eyelashes there. Really barely any eyelashes, just the shadow of her eyes, which is Thailand is known to do. This is a new Thailand variant, of course. She was previously released from China, of course, in 2010 and I believe 2016. And yeah, pretty cool. I don't think we've seen this model any other time. Then again, she may be the same model as the one of the police cars at the Piston Cup, Axle Accelerator, I believe his name is. She looks very similar to that, so yeah, the more I look at her, the more I think she is, but of course covered in rust. I can't believe those corroded windows, because cars' windows aren't really like see-through, so kind of cool. These are actually completely, I believe, metal windows. Yeah, I think they are. They feel like they're metal. I don't think they're plastic inserts. She's a big chunk of metal though. That's pretty cool. Even her rims covered in rust. Look at that. And her whole base is kind of like a grayish brown color. Not really quite brown though. Kind of nice. I don't really like when they do the base is all brown, because it's not really realistic looking, like trying to look like mud or whatever. She didn't really have any mud or anything like that though. She's just covered in rust, which is pretty gross, like I said. But anyways, yeah. I can't believe she's actually missing one of her mirrors as well. I didn't even realize that beforehand, before I opened her up. Wow. Her left mirror just completely gone. So apparently, Donna Pitts here is actually a 1980s Emery Craft Lima. Now, I don't know if that's a real car model in real life, or probably, I think it's just a Pixar creation from Pixar, because Emery Craft is kind of reminds me of Emeryville, which is town or city, I think, in California, where Pixar's Animation Studios is located. And also, she actually resembles a Ford Crown Victoria from 1992, it said. And I don't know how I didn't see that before, because it's very clear. She definitely looks like a Crown Vic, for sure. Had her based off of her model, which is pretty cool. One of the classic Ford cars they don't make anymore, of course. Also, it said she's from Long Island in New York, so that's pretty cool. I didn't know that either. Anyways, here is the Rescue Squad Trooper, who actually shares the same model. Actually, I think, yeah, pretty much the exact same, even the expression. Only difference is, of course, he has a hole in the top, and he actually has plastic inserted windows. He's pretty dusty, though, because he has been in storage for quite a while. I don't take my Cars Tune diecast out very often. But yeah, he's the same as Axle Accelerator from Cars 1, one of the Piston Cup police cars. But basically, I could think just a couple different decals. No Piston Cup decals, of course. But yeah, he's pretty much the same model from, or as Donna Pitts here. So that's pretty cool that they share the same. I couldn't find any other ones that I have. I don't have Axle Accelerator. They are almost the same, like I said, though. But yeah, I don't think there's any other ones that I'm missing, but who knows, there could be. I think there might be one more, I just don't have it, that shares the same model as Donna Pitts. But other than that, not much else to compare her to. Obviously, Show made her, because he's one of the rustiest cars that there is out there, of course. He could tow Donna Pitts around. I wonder if he could with his larger tow hook. Yeah, I guess he could. That's pretty cool. But other than that, I have a few other Rusteze tent cars that I wanted to show. Fred, who was also released this year, and Fred has had so many different model changes. He started off bigger, he went down to a really tiny version, and then he was resized again into like a medium version. Probably the best size there is. I really think that's a nice version of him. The one that was released for 2022. I don't have him yet. Hopefully I could review him soon though. Put Fred back there. And then of course, Jonathan Wentworth's pretty similar model, but not quite the same as Donna Pitts. He's much longer, I would say, and older looking. She's more of like a 90s or 80s car. He's probably more of a, maybe a 70s, I don't know. He's all green and full of rust, though, of course. He was also released this year, the new Thailand variant. And we also have probably the coolest one, which is, of course, Craig Faster. Barely even fits in the frame here. We have it so zoomed in. But he's, of course, a monster truck, full of rust, who also appeared at the Rusteze tent scene in the first Cars movie. So pretty cool that we have 4 of them now. There are many others. There's Japeth, who's pretty rare. I think he's blue and all rusty. Also a different model, though. And then there's also some kind of red one. I forget his name or her name. I think Jay Schuster or something like that. He's really rare as well. So hopefully they get re-released eventually. And then, of course, Andy Vaporlock, who I don't have just yet. He was released this year as a new variant as well, though. So, quite a lot. There's 5 of them released this year. It's pretty good, Mattel. I'm glad that they kept with it, or released them all, which is nice. Hopefully I get some other ones soon. I haven't been able to find Jonathan's new variant though yet, or Fred's new variant. Hopefully we can get them eventually, and we'll give them a review. But not too soon, because I have so many cars on the road, Diecast to review, that I haven't reviewed yet. I just got a ton of them in from Australia, and Donna Pitts was the only non-cars on the road item that I got from Australia. But kind of pointless to get her now, because I ended up getting her for Christmas. But either way, it's still cool to have two of. And, well, I think we have to end it off with Lightning McQueen in his very upset and determined expression there. Because, of course, he never really liked to be at the Rusteze tent. He doesn't really, well, in the beginning of cars, he didn't really like Rusteze to be his sponsor. He wanted to be sponsored by Dinoco, of course. But anyways, with that, of course, he learned to like the rusty cars by the end, as we all know. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on the Cars Garage.